as he addressed the public in a press conference. We'll get to that sound in a bit. But Schrags, is this not a question of if he comes back, but when? I feel like it is.
I mean, the expectation is that Gronk is going to start the season retired. It starts to linger when October, November rolls around, and especially if the Patriots potentially are having some issues with the passing game, and maybe Jacoby Myers isn't the breakout star we expected, or N'Keal Harry isn't dominating the NFL. I would say this, though. Is it not in Gronk's best interest to leave the door open? Mm-hmm. If you want to be a relevant spokesperson of companies, if you want to be a relevant Boston personality, is it not in your best interest to at least say, I'm not sure if I'm finding the joy? Like, this could be a temporary stay at the moment, saying, I need to find myself. I need to find my joy. Guess what? 5 years from now, I'll be 34. Antonio Gates is playing at about 40 at this age. This door is still open, whether Gronk wants to believe it or not. I think that this starts to creep in with every ex-player. But I would probably defer to Nate and say, does that creep in, especially if you're under the age of 30?
Yeah, I feel like Gronk is one of those individuals that after a few weeks, maybe a few months, he's going to start missing the game because he was so passionate. I know we look at Gronk as this big kid, goofball. And he's always having fun, but he was always dominant as well. The one thing I do know is if Gronk sits back middle of the season and he gets that itch, the Patriots will allow him to scratch it. But, Shrek, you said something while you were talking, and I couldn't help but think about the opposite. You said, is it in his best interest to keep the door open? And you guys know I'm a proponent of him coming back because I just love that storyline.
Yeah.
But isn't it in his best interest to stay retired? He went out on a walk-off of a Super Bowl.
Out of sight, out of mind, Nate.
No, I get that. Shrags. Bro, you're talking to a guy that wants Gronk back ASAP. But, man, I also remember Jordan with the Wizards, I also remember some of our older legends that came back and they just weren't the same. And let's not get it twisted. Gronk was banged up over the last couple of seasons. So I don't know. As much as I want him back, I don't know if I want him to tarnish his legacy by being out there limping around.
I hated MJ on the Wizards.
He's terrible. I remember Paul Pierce blocking his jump shot. Noted leaper, Paul Pierce. I actually don't think Gronk is going to come back. I don't know that for sure. Obviously, it's just my gut. And I'll just want to point out I was the only person at the table who knew he was going to retire last year, and you guys scoffed at that. I just have a gut for it. I'm hearing him say my soul would have to be on fire to come back, and not just for a minute, for a long time. Peter, I think his brand is 100% secure for years and years to come. He is a beloved Boston athlete who has a one-name brand name. I think he's good there. I think he's also very in touch with himself. I think he is not stupid. Guys, we talked after the Super Bowl about how he took a hit in the thigh and says he didn't sleep well for a month. He comes back. He gets the itch. He goes back. First play of the first series, going right on the thigh board, buddy. Welcome back to football. If you hated this, you're not going to love it now. And I also think that sometimes when these guys come back, especially to their old team, I think they talk to the teammates. I think they talk to the coaches. Come on, we could really use you. I don't think that's coming from the Patriots. The Patriots figure this out. I don't think the Patriots are going to miss Gronk. I don't think they'll get the pressure from him. I think he will not come back, and I do not want him to. The Jordan on the Wizards fact.